And some news coming from up north. Rockland County in New York has banned unvaccinated people who are under 18 from public places. Officials declared a state of emergency on Tuesday. It was a 9-day teacher walkout that occurred recently this year. It's really changed the fabric of this race. It has really decorated it. Now we have education, teachers' pay at the front running. Mr. Matthews is currently working with Republican Senator James Lankford to add a memorial to the crossroads of Greenwood and Archer, exactly where the 1921 race riots took place. The measure would require law enforcement, coroners, and medical examiners to enter information into the same database. Now that database is NAM-US. According to the National Conference of State Legislators, the millennials hold 31% of the state population. And that is the greatest majority for a generational subdivision at 31%, yet we only are represented in 6% of the state legislature. The assembly room clapped after the unanimous decision pushed Francine's law onto the governor's desk. According to NAM-US, while around 600,000 people go missing each year, over 4,000 unidentified bodies are discovered. After the governor's signature, the bill will go into effect on November 1st.
When in Oklahoma, do as the Okies do. Our state has seen its fair share of gun legislation, but a recently passed bill would allow permitless gun carry in the Sooner State.
This is public demand. I mean, we're a very red state, very Republican, and that is something that is a platform plank for the party. So this is in addressing constituent concern, desire, need.
House Bill 2597 permits the carry of a firearm, concealed or unconcealed, loaded or unloaded, by a person who is 21 years old or 18 years old for veterans.
I would have to say that that's just addressing the training, that they receive and their experience at that point.
Last week, House Public Safety Committee passed 2597 with a vote of 9-2.
You still have to go through, as I understand, you still have to go through the federal background check to purchase the gun, but at that point,
you're good to go. This is not the only bill that would allow permitless carry in the state, but it is the first of the 57th legislative session to pass committee.
And they're very passionate about, but I think it will stick for a while. I mean, just like anything, any law, this process is difficult. It's difficult to navigate and it's difficult to get through.
Now I'm going to put it back together. It's back together.
The sound of clarinets echoes throughout Radke Theater. Conductor Jenny Rucker says it's not so much her song, but rather her saga that plays.
So I'm pretty fluent in clarinet, saxophone, and flute, and so I play with lyric theater and other folks. I play when the phone rings.
And her phone rings often, as she teaches students of a diverse group from middle school all the way to expert college level, alumni, and seniors.
Range in the choir is 16 to 90, and two of the folks in our choir are actually practicing physicians.
In Jenny's direction, age becomes unnoticeable as she helps their voice come together through a melodic harmony of music.
Playing a musical instrument is wonderful because you can do it till you die. When you're an athlete, you're old when you're 40.
Jenny hasn't always been the musical leader she is now. She did her time receiving the direction to create a repertoire of songs to be able to share with others.
Been on the other side of the baton for a long time, so I'm pretty familiar with the pieces that we played, and so it's really fun conducting.
And when the piece builds to the big conclusion and the room grows silent, Jenny returns to being the musical teacher she is, which takes strategy, considering she directs a generation of musicians. From Edmond, Brock Warren with U Central News.